With so many great options on the market, choosing your next plane might seem like a daunting task. That's why we've put together a list of some of our top picks for single-engine piston aircraft that should definitely be on your radar in 2025. Whether you're looking for luxury, speed, or efficiency, we'll cover all the details you need to know to make an informed decision. Every pilot's needs are unique, and this list is designed to reflect that. Whether you're planning quick weekend getaways, cross-country adventures, or simply just want to upgrade your current aircraft, we've done the research for you, narrowing it down to 5 standout planes that hit all the marks in terms of performance, tech, and versatility. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are Lifestyle Aviation's top 5 piston singles you should consider in 2025. Starting us off at number 5, we have a plane that's had a bit of an identity crisis. Originally part of the Lancer family, but bought by Cessna in 2007, we've got the Cessna TTX, aka the Columbia 400, aka the Cessna Corvallis, aka the Corvallis TT. You get the point. In the mid-2000s, Cessna was in the market for a high-performance piston single to add to their lineup. And during the bankruptcy of Lancer, they found their opportunity. Bought the Columbia 400 airframe and changed the name just a handful of times. When it comes to high-performance piston singles, the TTX is one of the best of them. Packing a Continental TSIO 550C, a twin-turbocharged engine capable of outputting 310 horsepower, it can outspeed and outclimb just about any other aircraft in its category. Numbers indicate a max cruising speed of 235 knots at its service ceiling of 25,000 feet, and it will get there at its best rate of climb of 1,400 feet per minute. At a more likely 10,000 feet though, the TTX will still manage over 180 true, although it's going to chug 24 gallons an hour to do that. Inside the cabin, the TTX is set up with some pretty nice tech. With its Garmin G2000 avionics suite, it has dual 14-inch widescreen touch displays and a GTC 570 touchscreen controller as well. It even comes equipped with a pulse oximeter. Although Cessna discontinued production of the TTX, it still remains a strong contender in the used aircraft market and is worthy of serious consideration for those looking for an alternative to the SR22T. For a detailed comparison between the TTX and SR22T, check out the linked video to see our nose-to-nose showdown. Up next, we've got an aircraft that's become quite popular among bush pilots, with a reputation for being durable and reliable. Taking its spot as number 4 on this list is another Cessna, the 206 Turbo Stationaire HD. Safe to assume the HD stands for heavy duty and not high definition. This is a plane that a lot of people consider to be the SUV of the skies, and it's easy to see why. The T206 offers a useful load that's just over a whopping 1,400 pounds, and seating for 6. That's the pilot and 5 passengers. Although by the time you fill the 87-gallon tanks, you'll be left with somewhere around 920 pounds to actually use, which is still plenty to carry around some friends, family, or maybe even some cargo. While the T206 might offer the highest useful load of any plane on this list, it unfortunately has also one of the shortest maximum ranges. At only 703 nautical miles, I wouldn't expect to cross the country in a single leg. To put some perspective on the 206's range under normal conditions, a reasonable single leg trip would be something around New York to Atlanta or Los Angeles to Boise. The heart of this heavy hauler is the 310 horsepower Lycoming TIO 540 AJ1A. What does all that mean? Well, it means that the T206 can take you and your load all the way up to 26,000 feet, and it means it'll cruise around 150 to 160 knots true without a single complaint. Whatever your mission might be, whether it's personal or business, you can bet the Turbo Stationaire will get you there. It's not going to be the fastest flight, but this workhorse of a plane will carry just about anything you can throw inside of it. Coming in third is a plane that we're sure everyone expected to make this list, considering it's one of the most popular platforms in general aviation of all time. Of course, we're talking about the Cirrus SR22T. A fan favorite for good reason, Cirrus produced an aircraft that's designed to get pilots to their destination quickly and safely, while also remaining easy to operate. Part of the appeal is the avionics suite. On the panel, you'll find the Cirrus Perspective Touch Plus avionics system by Garmin, which consists of 2 large high-resolution displays and 2 touchscreen controllers just below. The large windows on the SR22 are great for watching the scenery roll by, as its 315 horsepower twin-turbocharged Continental TSIO 550K pulls you into doing 200 knots, which Cirrus claims is the normal cruising speed. But if you do find yourself with a need to go a little bit faster, the 22T tops out around 213 knots. What really sets the Cirrus apart from its competitors isn't its speed, as there are options out there that are faster. It's CAPS, the Cirrus Airframe Parachute System. a ballistic recovery system standard in all Cirrus aircraft to be used in the event a hard runway landing isn't an option. There's no guarantee it will prevent any damage to your aircraft, but at the very least, you'll be able to walk away in the event of a worst case scenario. Overall, the Cirrus SR22T is a solid option for those who want the ease of use of avionics and the added peace of mind from having a parachute on board. Plus, it is fast. It'll also carry almost 700 pounds, and with full fuel, you can squeeze around 1,000 nautical miles out of it. Touching down in second place is the only pressurized plane on this list. It's the Piper M350 Malibu Mirage. Here's a plane that some might consider a step up or gateway plane for those looking to graduate from unpressurized models. Under the cowl, the M350 contains a variant of the turbocharged Lycoming TIO 540, which produces, you guessed it, 350 horsepower, which will get this bird cruising upwards of 210 knots true airspeed and up to flight level 250. In reality, these numbers seem almost standard, especially when compared to the SR22T or the TTX. But what really sets this plane apart from the other planes on our list is its pressurized cabin that provides an extra level of comfort when cruising at higher altitudes. If range is what you're after, this Piper likely won't leave you disappointed. Filled up with 120 gallons of avgas, Piper claims the Malibu Mirage can carry up to 3 people over 1,300 nautical miles, which is the best maximum range we've seen from planes on this list so far. Set it in sport mode and you'll likely see just shy of 1,000 from a high-speed cruise. But obviously range is really dependent on how much you intend to carry. The M350 offers seating for up to 5 passengers, and its 1,300 pound useful load looks good, but if you plan on filling its massive tanks with fuel, you'll be left with just under 600 pounds to actually use, which is still plenty for most use cases. When it's all said and done, the Piper M350 may not have the best payload, fuel efficiency, or even flare as our number 1 pick, but what it does have is the capability to fly you and your passengers long distances in luxury not unlike a private jet. Taking the top spot for the number 1 plane we believe should be on your radar in 2025 is none other than the Diamond DA50 RG, an aircraft that's quickly becoming a favorite among aviators for its luxurious appeal and modern features. Although it's been around in Europe for some time now, Diamond's high-performance single officially entered the US market in 2024 after receiving its FAA certification. Diamond Aircraft Industries saw the increasing demand for a light, high-performance single-engine aircraft and answered with the DA50, a sort of mix between the DA40 NG and the DA62. While most of Diamond's models use their own Austro engines, Diamond switched things up with the DA50, instead opting to use the Continental CD300, a 6-cylinder liquid-cooled Jet A-burning 300 horsepower engine. Diamond claims that the aircraft will sip fuel at just 8 gallons an hour at 45% load, and around 12 to 14 gallons during cruise, and this isn't too far from what we've actually seen in the field. Speaking of cruising, you might not see the same speeds that you'd find in an SR22T, but the DA50's no sloth either. During a normal cruise, the DA50 will comfortably do around 170 knots true, and somewhere around 180 at full throttle. The DA50 makes up for being a little bit slower by being able to carry a payload just shy of 900 pounds with 326 pounds of fuel. 326 pounds of fuel might not sound like a lot, but that's 49 gallons of Jet A. So even though it holds half as much fuel as other planes on this list, the DA50 can carry you just as far. Open its gull-wing doors and you'll see why pilots love the interior of this plane. On its panel, you'll find the latest and greatest Garmin G1000 NXI flight deck, complete with synthetic vision, and on some models a keypad controller in the armrest. What you won't find though are mixture and prop controls. That's because the DA50 uses the full authority digital engine control system to keep things simple and modern. Gone are the days of managing your engine like an old tractor. The rest of the 50 is just as appealing. Hand-stitched leather seats, massive windows, and a body that's guaranteed to turn heads on the ramp. And did we mention the retractable gear? The only caveat is that the DA50, like all Diamonds, are center stick, so if that's not something you're into, this might not be the plane for you. But otherwise, Diamond's created an aircraft that doesn't just look great, it performs great too. It's fast, fuel efficient, and carries a respectable load. Not to mention it's one of the safest single-engine aircraft you can actually fly. Whether you're flying for business or leisure, the DA50 delivers a first-class experience. And that concludes our list of the top 5 planes that you should consider in 2025. Do you agree with our selection? Let us know which aircraft you've got your eye on in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more aviation content.